talk about speaking of Czech. Let's talk about Honda because as Marquez told Zarco and some of the other guys some months back on Honda, is like, look, yes, I gave up a lot of money, so don't waste it. Doesn't seem like Honda is wasting the money they got back from Marquez. And it is it time to say they're officially back?
No, we're not gonna jump that gun.
You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, I can see improvement. I mean, if Mir would have had stayed up maybe 10 more Grand Prix, then possibly
hang on one
we could
second.
have.
He's had over 44 crashes.
I mean, that's my guy. I like Mir from like when he won his first championship and stuff like that. But
He's a Suzuki guy.
man,
Just
yeah,
lead with he's a
all
Suzuki
right.
guy. Don't say
That,
nothing else.
that's
Just a
that.
Suzuki guy.
But anyway, yes. Okay, so I feel like if he's finished more Grand Prix and Luca was around more, I feel like they'll have a better step than they're making now. It's a little late in the season, but I don't want to say they're officially back yet. But I can say that they're making the steps, right steps in the right
Okay. All
direction.
right. All right. Reese, you said no, but I mean, it could be like, Colorado State with Dion their second year. It's a lot better than their first previous 5 years. And Honda, they're again, crashes here, crashes there. As you know, these guys are on the limits all the time. So, you blink and you crash. What do they need to do for you to say they're back?
Consistent consistency is key. I mean, it's not just show like they're doing now. There's one race they show great, then the next one they're like nowhere to be around, then it's like the next one they're nowhere around, the next one they come up, they're in the top 10. Give me more consistency, and then I could say, hey, they're making a push to come back. I mean, right now they're showing a lot more improvements than the blue brand. It sucks, but um, they're showing their improvement. They're showing that they didn't waste that money that Marquez left on the table. They're actually taking the initial steps to improve the bike and do what they need to do.
Right.
Um, and I keep saying this all to a lot of people. I mean, you have one more year of the 1000s. You got one more year. After that year, it's almost like a
Reboot.
start from everybody. Everybody starts from zero, and we just hopefully everybody can come to the table at that time.
Yeah, I mean, I do think, and we'll move into it, but the riders, the teams that are in, that got bikes and other series might have a better chance of that. Lewis, what are your thoughts on Honda, where they're at, and are you saying they're back? Not yet.
I'm saying they're further ahead of than Yamaha at this point. I'll definitely say that. I've said that for a while now. I felt that they have been improving in the right ways. And, nobody ever said that the Honda didn't have motor.
I
It
was going to
just,
bring that up
yeah,
because on the straights with Luca Marini, we
he
thought the
wasn't getting away.
KTM's, we thought some bikes was going to, nah, he was right there.
Hey, so Honda doesn't have a problem with the motor. Honda's always had problems with stability in the braking and corner speed and edge grip and things like that. So and some of that you can get mechanically, some of that you can get through electronics, and some of that you got to find a rider that can ride around some of those issues. And they had that rider for a long time in Marquez. And now they're trying to build a bike that's a little more suitable for more guys than just one guy. And that's what I'm hoping Ducati stays away from is don't make the bike so Marquez centric that it becomes to a point where nobody else can ride it. And Honda did that for a long time, and now they're kind of having to go back to the drawing board and build a bike. But the motor was never the problem. The bike puts down ridiculous amount of power. So I feel that they're definitely ahead of Yamaha by a few steps because they don't have to build a motor from scratch. They have the motor, they know they have the overall chassis. They just have to get these finer points figured out, and they're doing it. I mean, they are investing. They're doing the right things, and I think they're doing it in a way that makes sense. I mean, they're not just going to throw all the money at this thing because, again, next year is the last year for these bikes. So I'm not going to dump all my R&D into a bike that I'm scrapping in 18 months. Let me take some of that R&D money and start putting it towards that bike for 2027. So when that season kicks off, we're not at the back of the table. We're at the front of the table. You know, we're doing the right thing to get our bike back up to the top step as quickly as possible.
Okay.
I just
And
hope that the riders survive between now and then.
if Luca, what we see Luca and Mir doing, I mean, if Marquez was on that bike, I mean, wouldn't it be a winning bike? Because I mean,
Nah.
the
It
Ducati's
would
Nah.
struggling.
it would be a winning bike because of him, but not
Right.
because of the bike.
Well, I mean, we can say that about the 25.
Ducati?
Yeah,
You could say that, except his brother's winning on it also.
that's a 24.
Right.
That's a 24.
20-ish.
Hey, listen, in some states it matters.
I think Honda's
still
doing
a
the right
duck.
thing. Yeah, I think Honda's doing the right thing the right way because you see what Mir. If you look at Mir and Marini,
Yeah,
they have very similar styles.
yeah,
So they're making a bike to work with a specific style, very smooth, very fast corner type of style, not a hard braking shooting point, kind of style where you have to kind of go into the corner and you have to use your rear brake to get that last 2% of the turn done because your front brake is already gassed out and you're going to crush the front end. So they're changing the dynamics of the bike away from what Marquez is good at to something that more people could be good at. And that's what they need. They need a better rounded, all around better bike.
okay, I agree. Before we leave off Honda, Zarco, he's looking better, still crashing a bunch. Some cat, I saw they were cheering him on because he finished 15th. I don't know if they're saying goodbye to him. I don't know what's
They
going
saying
on there.
goodbye. They saying goodbye. 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 Good riddance.
And this is on Honda, right? This is on Honda for. I shouldn't say it's on Honda because maybe somebody wrote them a fat check for him to come over. We don't know, but they're shipping him off to World Superbike. But this
Yeah.
is on Honda because this guy needs, like Raul Fernandez, he needs more time. I don't think he's a bad rider. He
Who?
needs more time.
No, he's a
They
bad
they
rider.
don't like they don't like giving time though. How much time can you get though? He's like, hey, I need time. I'm in the
1 year.
World
He
States,
got
but
he barely got a year, and he was hurt.
Hey,
KTM don't give you that sometimes. Like certain
What is he?
manufacturers
Jesse
don't give you
Smollett
that 1 year.
injury?
You in and you
hey,
out.
hey,
Remy
listen.
Gardner gone.
We trying to race. This ain't no fundraising case.
Come on, listen, man. Now this has been one of my gripes with Gardner, with Ika Lukuono, with
Yeah,
some cat. There's some guys that get a bunch of time, but listen,
Brad Binder got a lot of
the
time.
Aleix and Poe got a lot of time. Bradley Smith got a lot of time. Tito Roubaix got a lot of time. Redding had a lot of time in GP. Like, and these guys barely got wins. So like,
That's what I don't get
how do we?
Hey, but you gotta say they had a lot of time. But some of those guys you named, they at least were top 10. At least top 10.
As a rookie,
Brad.
Didn't they get it like once? Am I?
Well,
Because if I go back in
I
it,
mean, listen.
I guess.
Nakagami got pole once too, right? So I mean,
Uh,
like some
well,
cats, he would have got it. It would have been a situation.
when nobody's on the track.
Listen, you never know. It's MotoGP. You never know what can happen until you watch.
Everybody crashes out. Like some cat just need to go find something else to do. That's what he need to do.
It's tricky, right? Because he probably should have stayed in Moto 2 one more year because he probably would have been a force in Moto 2 because he was coming into his own in Moto 2. But it's tough because as a Moto, and I'll say this with I think Raul Fernandez came to MotoGP too soon as well. I think he should have stuck around and stayed another year and be at the front of the Moto 2 grid instead of coming into MotoGP and struggle. So we do see it when these guys come early, but also if you don't take the ride, you also see that you get blacklisted, like Roberts and some of these other guys that didn't jump on the Aprilia when it was worse than the Honda to ride.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I do agree with that. Like, just gotta go with the flow, I guess. I mean, the Chargers still got to ride. And obviously, it ain't MotoGP, but yeah, I mean, his times are not too bad, but they're just not good enough
Mm.
by a long shot. Like he's, I feel like he's keeping pace, but he's like, I mean, if you want to call being a second half off not close, I mean, I guess that's really not close. Like if you
Right.
like all of a sudden the past few years, all these riders are within a half a second from each other. But I feel
Right.
like years before it was within 1 or 2 seconds. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just unfortunate. I mean, like and the bike that he's on, I guess, is also developing too. So
Right. Well, listen, I mean, to sign Diego Moreira is, I'm not going to sit here and say he's not a top notch rider and doesn't belong in MotoGP and stuff like that, but they are breaking the mold because he's not Asian. And they've been kind of doing that for almost 8 to 10 years to have an Asian rider on the squad. So I can't believe Samcat did that bad that they said no more.
yeah.
Well, I
I
think
mean,
that might be with, what other options? What other Asians do they have at Moto 2 that's an option?
Yeah, just keep him for another year. I mean, listen, Taka Nakagami, I love the guy, but you know, he started out the same way as some cat. You know what I mean? Like I said, he got one pole, I think, in it was a Jerez, or it was one of the Spanish rounds,
And he
or
crashed out first
and he
lap.
crashed out, right? So,
So he
so
was consistent, is what you're saying.
that's what I'm saying. And I think he came in 15. I think 15 to 16 is when he came in. But that's when the bike was, really bad. But you know what I'm saying. So it's weird. I mean, I'm glad to see him in World Superbike and stuff. But let's talk about the Yamaha before we get into World Superbike.
Oh,
Miller. I know some people question why Miller got re-signed. But when we see these efforts from him, granted, he doesn't have the same luck. And to see how dejected he was, when he crashed out, it's pretty wild to see because it's kind of, as you guys know, sometimes you don't know why things ain't working out in that moment and stuff like that. So what are your thoughts on where Yamaha is? Because they're showing flashes of, one lap speeds and stuff like that, and they can qualify fairly well. But I don't want to say they're struggling like KTM, but their struggles seem to, like, once the tire falls off, they turn into like a Fiat.
I mean, yeah, they're really struggling. I feel like there's just still a lot of Yamaha fans or a lot of Yamaha believers out there for GP. Like they just want to see him do good because they got Fabio as a really good rider. You don't want to waste that talent, and he's been proving it. The bike's not showing it. Jack Miller, I mean, he's just been up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I mean, granted, he just had his Grand Prix. Hopefully, give you some confidence, and that's all kind of like not about you, but about you, so you can like use that to help a little bit. I mean, and then Miguel, I think he crashed out in the sprints. So yeah, it's just not really looking good. The V4 um, was terrible, I think. Like,
Okay. All
and
right.
and I think it shouldn't have even been out there.
Come, what?
Uh, I
What are
mean,
you
I
not
mean,
hearing?
they try to get results. I mean, it was just. I mean, obviously, you're trying to see what it got. It just didn't look good. It didn't
Listen,
look good.
listen, man. There are a
It
lot of
didn't look
people
good.
that roll something out for the very first time,
Yeah,
and
I
it don't even make it down the street.
know. I know.
and
I
you got to
know.
go back to the drawing board, like
I feel like Fabio right now.
it's Einstein and some of these guys, man, 1,000 experiments before they get it right. I mean, it's, at Reese, come on, you guys, how many stuff you guys have in the warehouse that didn't even make it on the bike?
This is a
Like
critical
there's more parts
crossover,
that
though.
don't make it on stuff than do because, I don't want to say it's trial and error, but it's trial and error. What are your thoughts, Reese?
yeah, trial and errors at testing, not during race weekend. Like trial and errors at testing, man. I don't know about no race weekend. Race weekend, we trying to win.
It's
But
the weekend when you send the bankers away and you keep all the engineers.
I mean, you keep putting that V4 out, yeah, you gonna send the bankers away, not wanting to invest. Like that thing is dog slower than the inline four. Like what the f is this? But I mean, with keeping Jack on the and with Jack, I mean he shows his little spurts here and there. I mean, especially over Miguel. I mean, if you were, between between Miguel and Jack, I mean, they kept the right one. They kept Jack.
Right.
So, you know, that was for that. But I mean, at this point in time, you're getting ready to almost lose Fabio. For the 27 season, you're getting ready to lose him. He's going to be like, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm calling it
They're not,
quits."
where's he gonna go? He's not. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Where he gonna go? Honda.
Peggotty.
I mean, Costa's going to Honda. Where he gonna go? He can just make noise and get a fatter contract and get more pearls. Lewis, what are your thoughts on Yamaha? Is it the V4 or is it the test rider? Augusta Fernandez has not been tested. Like, I don't think he should be a test rider.
Yeah, but think of it this way: how long was Stefan Bradl a test rider for Honda? You just need to have quality. A test rider is somebody that can give you feedback the right way, not necessarily the fastest guy, the right guy that can give you feedback. And sometimes the guy that can give you the best feedback is not the fastest guy. He might be, a half a second, 3/4 of a second, or even a second slower than the guys at the front, but he can feel things and explain them to the engineers better than a super fast guy. Like if I had to build a bike tomorrow and my test rider, the two options are going to be Marc Marquez or Maverick Vinales, I would pick Maverick Vinales because Marc Marquez is going to give me great feedback for a bike for him.
Right.
Vinales is going to give me great feedback to make a great bike.
Okay. So, but Fernandez is not that.
But if that's the case, then Michele Pirro, he tests all the Ducatis. Are Ducati ship boxes? Because he's slow as balls.
The 25, man. I'm on record already complaining about the 25. I already said to me it's the worst bike since the 2020. So
well, then blame Michele Pirro because he's the one that's testing, or blame Luca Salvadori.
Again, that's why I'm asking this because but it's a different era, right? Yeah. And I get what you're saying. But are you telling me there's no former MotoGP riders that's had a better career than Fernandez to be a test rider?
The only good one that wants to do it is Danny Pedrosa. What other former GP rider would you want to? Jorge Lorenzo? My man's eating a lot of arepas. He's looking real pudgy around the middle.
He's starting to look like some of these retired European football players.
Yeah, my man's like, what? I don't have to work out anymore? Bet. You don't have to dare me. And then
I mean, we do got Dobie.
Dobie does ride here and there.
Yeah, but he's just coming on though. He's replacing Cal, and Cal's been hurt for like 2 years since his accident. He seems like he's been hurt.
And all right, so outside of those two guys, who else do you have that's gonna want to do it?
Well, they lost Aleix because Aleix is with Honda. I mean, Rossi's racing, so he's not gonna come in and be a test rider for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting Fernandez to come in and be top 15. Obviously, it's a new project, but they're literally transitioning to this bike pretty soon. Like it's gonna be in Fabio's hands in a couple months or in a month or two. So obviously, his skill level will help improve it. But Mapiro was way down the pack. He was 20th, But just see Chancher not to pick on him, finish ahead of him in the sprint and the GP. I know it's not about the speed. It's just I feel like the direction that Yamaha is trying to head, they should show more improvement. To a fan, maybe they're seeing something we're not seeing.
I think the best test rider they have is Alex Rins. Take him off the factory seat, put somebody else in the factory seat, and makes Alex Rins, because Alex Rins, he just doesn't have it, man. Now it's very clear that he just has not recovered from his last injury, because he's a shell of the guy he was just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's not the bike, because he's finishing either right in front of or right behind Jack Miller. So it's definitely not the bike. He still has skill. He just doesn't have that extra piece to get him to the front anymore. And I think he's riding out his contract. Once his contract is done, if I was Yamaha, I would keep him as a test rider.
Test rider. He'd be the best
that one. Dude is fast. That dude is smooth. That dude can help you build a fast bike. Just take him out of the racing environment and put him on his full test riding environment. And he will help you develop a bike really, really well.
He'll be testing that V4 next year for the whole season.
from 18th place.
Nah,
Just give that seat to somebody else.
I think Rins will figure it out. I believe in Rins. Like
I
he's
believe in
he
Rins
gonna-
too, but I think the writing's on the wall that next year will be his last year. I don't
Yeah.
see
He's
him
You think
figuring
it's,
out.
from that.
He's
you
figuring
think it's
out. He's
hard to
figuring out how to
become a
be a
test
test
rider?
rider.
Huh?
You think it's hard to become a test rider? Like, you say it's probably fit for him, but what if he's like, nah, I don't want to do that because
Well,
I'd like to
remember,
compete.
when you're a test rider, you're not traveling around the world anymore. You're talking about a guy who's married with kids,
Yeah,
who probably would doesn't mind flying away for like a week to go test ride and then come home and be with his family again. He's got plenty of money. He can retire, make his money on the side. He's still going to make money off his name and off his fame. But for certain guys, this is the best reality of after racing. What am I going to do after racing? He's not going to be a commentator because Polis Barbaro has already locked that down. um,
I guess it's just made for certain people, like
yeah. And even when he's on the mic, he's not the most charismatic person in the world. I mean, he's a great guy, but he's not grabbing everybody's attention and making the inflections that you need to really grab the audience's attention. Commentating is a difficult game in itself. But you put him on a bike, on a track with engineers, let him go out, run paces. He knows how to ride. He knows how to go fast, and he will tell you how to fix that bike.
right.
Minus the environment and the stress of a race weekend and traveling for 4 weeks in a row and not seeing his family and all this other stuff that does at his age and where he's at in his life. I'm sure that takes a toll on him, man.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think he got 1 year left, and I think he wants to win on another manufacturer before he bows out. So, he got at least 24 rounds to at least try to win a race. So, I mean, that's at least 44 races. One of them he'll get.